Welcome back to the channel Ultimate Explorers. Today we are taking you to the most stunning destinations that feel like a dream. Ever feel like you're just stuck in the same old routine? What if I told you there are still places in the world that feel genuinely magical, as if they were pulled right out of a fairy tale? These aren't make-believe lands. They're real towns and castles tucked away in the mountains and valleys of Europe, just waiting to be explored.
Think of them as living storybooks, where every cobblestone street, towering castle, and misty morning has a story to tell. So, let's leave the everyday behind for a little while and step into a world where dreams feel real. Join me on a journey to the storybook towns and castles of Europe, places that will have you believing in fairy tales all over again.
First up, we're heading to the misty, forested hills of Sintra, Portugal. This place isn't just a town, it's an entire fantasy world. For centuries, this was the summer escape for Portuguese royalty, and they left behind some of the most whimsical and imaginative palaces you'll ever see. Its crown jewel? Pena Palace, a breathtaking explosion of candy-colored towers perched on a rocky hill. With its vibrant reds and yellows set against the deep green forest, it honestly looks like a Disney set brought to life.
Nearby, the ancient Moorish castle walls slither across the hilltops, offering views that are completely out of this world. But the most mysterious spot in Sintra has to be the Quinta da Regalera. Its famous initiation well spirals deep into the earth, a place of secrets and shadows that feels like stepping into another dimension. Want a pro tip? To really feel Sintra's magic, you have to beat the crowds. Get to Pena Palace right when it opens to see it in the soft morning light, and explore the strange, beautiful gardens of Regalera in the late afternoon after the tour buses have disappeared.
From the sunny hills of Portugal, we're heading north to a city of canals and quiet charm, Bruges, Belgium. It's often called the Venice of the North, and for good reason. Bruges is a perfectly preserved medieval city that feels like you're walking through a living museum. Its historic center is a UNESCO World Heritage Site, a maze of cobblestone streets, gabled brick houses, and calm canals that perfectly mirror the sky.
The heart of the city is its magnificent belfry, a bell tower that has stood watch over Bruges for more than 700 years. If you're up for climbing its 366 steps, the panoramic view of the red-roofed city is absolutely worth it. But honestly, the best way to experience Bruges is to just get lost. Follow the smell of fresh waffles, listen to the clip-clop of horse-drawn carriages on stone bridges, and watch the swans glide across Minnewater, the Lake of Love. For an experience that is pure magic, take a boat tour on the canals during the Blue Hour, that brief moment just after sunset, when the medieval buildings are bathed in a soft, ethereal glow.
Our next chapter takes us to a region that looks like it's been illustrated for a storybook, the Alsace in France. Tucked right on the border with Germany, its unique blend of cultures shows in the architecture, creating a string of villages so perfect they almost don't look real. The best way to see it is by driving the Alsace wine route, which winds through rolling vineyards and connects one postcard-perfect town to another.
Colmar is the heart of the region, famous for its Little Venice quarter where pastel-colored, half-timbered houses line a sleepy canal. Nearby, the village of Eguisheim is built in whimsical concentric circles, practically begging you to get lost in its narrow, flower-filled lanes. And then there's Kaisersberg, with its fortified bridge and a ruined castle keeping watch over the town. It's especially enchanting during the Christmas holidays, when the air fills with the smell of gingerbread and mulled wine, and the entire village glows. A little advice: try to visit midweek to dodge the weekend rush. That way, you'll get to soak in the quiet charm that makes these villages so special.
Now, we're off to Germany, a country that practically invented the fairy tale landscape. First, a castle that seems to have been conjured from a dream, Burg Eltz. Hidden deep in a forest and hugged on three sides by the Elsbach River, Eltz Castle has stood untouched for over 850 years. Unlike so many other castles, it was never destroyed. And get this, the same family has owned it for 33 generations, so its medieval soul is completely intact. The best way to see it is to walk the forest path from the car park. The moment the castle appears through the trees is something you'll never forget.
From there, we'll travel to Rothenburg ob der Tauber, Germany's best-preserved walled medieval town. Walking along its ancient, intact ramparts truly feels like stepping back in time. The town is a classic maze of cobblestone lanes and timber-framed houses, but its most iconic spot is the Plön, a small square with a crooked yellow house perfectly framed by two medieval towers. It's so picturesque, it almost looks staged, and even inspired the village in Disney's Pinocchio. If you want to see it without the crowds, you have to get up with the sun. In the early morning light, the streets are empty, and the town is all yours.
Our German adventure ends at the most famous fairy tale castle of all, Neuschwanstein. Perched dramatically on a rugged hill, this 19th century palace was the passion project of King Ludwig II of Bavaria, the so-called Mad King. He built it not for defense, but as a fantasy retreat and a romantic tribute to the operas of Richard Wagner. With its iconic white turrets and soaring spires, Neuschwanstein served as a primary inspiration for Disneyland's Sleeping Beauty castle. It just recently earned a UNESCO World Heritage designation in July 2025, which means the crowds are more intense than ever. You absolutely need to book tickets far in advance to get in. The best view is from Mary's Bridge, which hangs over a deep gorge, offering that perfect picture postcard shot of the castle.
Our journey now takes us east into the heart of Bohemia and the stunning Alps. First up is Cesky Krumlov in the Czech Republic, a town literally cradled in a hairpin bend of the Vltava River. This UNESCO World Heritage Site is an incredible example of a small medieval town, almost perfectly preserved for over 5 centuries. The town is dominated by its enormous castle complex, a beautiful mix of Gothic, Renaissance, and Baroque styles, with a brightly colored tower that rises high above the red-roofed houses. The real magic here is just getting lost in the cobblestone lanes, finding hidden courtyards and watching the river flow.
Next, we head south to Austria's Salzkammergut region and the lakeside village of Hallstatt. Tucked between a glassy lake and steep mountains, Hallstatt is so ridiculously picturesque that people say it looks like the real-life Arendelle from Frozen. This UNESCO-listed village built its history on ancient salt mines. The classic photo is taken from the ferry as it approaches the shore, with the church spire reflected perfectly in the water. But here's the secret. Its fame has brought huge crowds, so you have to stay overnight. Once the day trippers leave, the village empties out, and you can enjoy a quiet evening stroll by the lake as the village lights twinkle on the water's surface.
And for our grand finale, we land in a place of pure, jaw-dropping beauty, Lake Bled, Slovenia. It's a scene composed for a fairy tale. In the middle of an emerald green lake sits a tiny island with the pilgrimage church of the Assumption of Mary. Legend has it that ringing the church's bell will make your wish come true. Watching over everything from a high cliff is Bled Castle, Slovenia's oldest castle. To capture that truly iconic view, take the short hike up to the Ostrika viewpoint for sunrise or sunset. From there, you'll see it all. The island, the castle, and the Julian Alps in the distance. A perfect, unforgettable end to our journey.
So, from Portugal's sunny palaces to Slovenia's misty alpine lakes, it's clear these destinations are more than just pretty postcards. They're a reminder that a little bit of magic is still very much alive, woven into the history and landscapes of our world. They are an escape, a dream, and an invitation to see everything with a fresh sense of wonder.
Which of these fairy tale places would you want to visit the most? Let us know in the comments below. And if you enjoyed this journey into the storybook side of Europe, don't forget to like this video and subscribe for more adventures to the world's most stunning places.
Until next time, keep dreaming, keep exploring, and never forget that the world is full of fairy tales just waiting for you to step inside.